Globally, electric cars were up 38% in April of 2022 compared to April of 2021. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers and welcome back everyone else. Now, I'm coming to you from Indonesia. Today, my boys went to what is apparently one of the best water parks in the world. They had an amazing day. I absolutely loved it. Anyway, moving on from that, if you want to join our Facebook group, we have a private Facebook group. I'll put a link in the description below. And also, if you want to help out this channel, I'll put a link in the description below to our Patreon page. We basically exist through having a Patreon account. So that's what keeps us going. Thank you very much to those of you who support us on Patreon. It means a hell of a lot. Globally, plug-in registrations were up nearly 40% in April of 2022 compared to April of 2021. The reality is, this is not indicative of what's really going on globally. Not at all. Why? Because lots of things have been affecting the electric vehicle market, in particular in April, right? About 1/3 of the world's electric vehicle manufacturing right now happens to be done in cities that were shut down for all of April. So I think realistically, it's amazing that we're up 40% for April and that we're not down 40%. This shows you just how much electric vehicle production has increased recently. So in April, there was 542,000 registrations of plug-in vehicles. That was 10%. More than 10%, in fact, 10.2% of the global market share. Now, interestingly, of that 10.2%, 3% are plug-in hybrids and 7% are fully electric vehicles. This shows you, all right, where the vehicle market is going. We don't need to tell people your plug-in sucks. I mean, they're going to know soon enough that they bought a vehicle that is the past, not the future. Now, Clean Technica says that considering the steep drops in the overall global car market and that plugless hybrids were down for the first time since the COVID-19 lockdown months of April and May 2020, that should be considered an amazing result. So the poor result from plug-in hybrids means that this year is the peak HEV year, or the peak plug-in hybrid year. 2023 will be the start of a spiral downwards for plug-in hybrid sales globally. Toyota, take notice. Why aren't you listening to what people actually want? Just because you want to sell hybrid vehicles doesn't mean everyone wants to buy them. Now, peak plug-in hybrid is one of the weird events, according to cleantechnica.com, that happens once EV disruption hits the automotive market. It is not only about the fuel share, like diesel sales falling off a cliff in Europe. It is also about OEM standings, like the rise of the Chinese OEMs in their home market. Volkswagen Group losing its grip on Europe and losing its grip in China in a big way. And the addition of Tesla to what is currently the US Big Four, the others being Toyota, GM, Stellantis, and Ford. So there'll be a US Big Five very soon. In April, electric vehicles, purely electric only, are actually up 50% year on year. That's a much bigger rise than plug-in hybrids, which are only up 22%. One of the key reasons behind this is plug-in hybrid vehicle sales have been suffering in Europe massively and also in China a bit as well. Number one was the Wuling Hongwan Mini EV. If we look at the monthly bestseller table, the little Wuling Mini EV won another monthly title. It's first this year. Now, it has a brother car, which is quite similar, which will be GM, Wuling and SAIC's global electric car. They plan on selling that car all around the world. They just started sales of that vehicle in Indonesia last week. Check out my video on that one. I'll put a link in the description below. Now, thanks to a record 20,181 registrations, the BYD Song managed to surpass the Tesla Model Y, which dropped to third place. This was, of course, a result of Tesla's Shanghai production being paused. However, it's the first time that BYD has managed to beat Tesla with vehicle sales of any model. Just off the podium, we have Tesla Model 3 in fourth place, which is a pretty good result considering the fact that, the factory in April was shut down in China. Amazing result, really. Number 5 is BYD's Chin plug-in hybrid. Then BYD has 3 different vehicles next. Crazy. BYD is just dominating the market with the BYD Dolphin in number 6, the BYD Han EV in number 7, and the compact Yen Plus in number 8. Now I've got a pre-order in for the BYD Yen Plus. I actually get delivery, I believe, next month. That'll be cool. And I'm going to make a video about that, picking the car up, showing you guys what I think about it. I've already got some strong opinions on what I'm probably going to say, but we'll see. So with the exception of the micro car category, BYD models lead sales of both plug-in hybrids and purely electric vehicles globally in the month of April. Of course, April will be the most unusual month of the year, thanks largely to the fact that Tesla's factory in China was shut down. BYD's, most of their factories were not affected by the COVID crazy lockdowns going on in China this year, or in April at least. Anyway, BYD's factories are mostly not located in the areas that were affected. However, BYD is ramping up their vehicle production. And as I mentioned on this channel, a lot of people are ignoring this fact. There's very few videos about BYD on YouTube. No one is really mentioning the fact that BYD's Gigafactory, literally electric car Gigafactory, actually just started producing EVs. I think it's likely we're going to see twice as many EV sales per month from BYD in the 4th quarter, even the 3rd quarter of this year. And the other thing to consider is BYD has a wide range of vehicles. They're bringing out more vehicles soon. They're working on an electric pickup truck, an electric sports car. They've got a range of different electric models coming out. Also, they've got, the Han EV. They've got the Seal EV, which just launched. They've got the BYD Dolphin. They've got the BYD Seagull. They've got the BYD Atto 3, the Yen Plus. They've got the BYD Dolphin. They've probably got more than 10 electric cars, that will be available by the end of this year. Many of those available in the West as well. There were other manufacturers that also recorded record performances. Number 10, Kia EV6 scored a record 9,085 registrations. That's a pretty good tally for Kia. And it shows what's actually going on, in South Korea. They're actually starting to ramp up EV production. For example, the Ioniq 5 ended the month in 9th place with 9,750 registrations. And the other thing to remember is these 2 Korean vehicles, the EV6 and the Ioniq 5, which I think are both brilliant cars, and I think all of you are aware of that as well, were the 2 best placed vehicles from big OEMs, from Legacy Auto. Very interesting that Hyundai and Kia are finally starting to ramp up their electric vehicle sales. Now, the crazy thing about all of this is that by far the world's biggest electric vehicle market is China. Kia and Hyundai don't sell EVs in China. They don't sell the EV6 or the Ioniq 5 in China. You can imagine how good their sales would be if they did. But the reality is, maybe they couldn't produce any more vehicles anyway. I think that waiting times on both of these cars are super long. In Australia here, you have to wait about 2 years for an EV6. I think it's about a year for an Ioniq 5. Big waits. The second half of the sales table saw 2 more record scores. The company that I keep talking about, Leapmotor, had a record 7,150 registrations, with this promising startup EV ending the month in 13th place. And I have a new video coming out showing you their new car, which honestly, for the price, might be the best value electric car in the world. It might be. When you look at the features, the specs, you put it all together, you look at the price, it's mind-blowing. Leapmotor are really going places. Frankly, when you look at a car like this new CO1 from Leapmotor, I just don't know how Toyota can compete with them. I don't know how anyone can compete. Based on price, staggering. Now, the other vehicle for Leapmotor that did really well was the Cherry QQ ice cream. It's a similar sized car to the Wuling Hongwan Mini EV. I think it looks a little bit better. That car came in at number 14 worldwide. The other record score, kudos to Ford, was a Ford Mustang Mach-E. Thanks to the start of its Chinese operations and greater availability in the Mexican plant, the Mustang Mach-E had its best score ever with 6,898 units total sold worldwide. Now, hopefully Ford can continue this good result for the month this year. Now, another car we don't talk about much, I think there's very few videos on YouTube about it, is a Chang'an Benny EV. That's a fully electric car. And it's actually placed really well in the list because if you think about it, this list is showing you plug-in hybrids and fully electric cars. Now, if we eliminate all of the plug-in hybrids, then That means the Chang'an Betty EV actually placed 9th worldwide for the first quarter of 2022. It's little companies, well, not so little really. I mean, if you're in China, you probably don't think they're little, but it's companies like this that most of the West have never heard of that will likely take large market share by 2030. Why? Because they manufacture EVs at incredible prices that I really think you can't compete with unless you're in China. Another vehicle that we haven't talked about at all so far in this video, Volkswagen ID4. How did it go? Well, the ID4 was Volkswagen's best placed model for the first quarter of this year, and actually came 6th worldwide when it comes to purely electric vehicles. So far for the first quarter of this year, Volkswagen has delivered over 36,000 Volkswagen ID4s to new owners. And that's a pretty good result for Volkswagen. But realistically, Volkswagen's actually not doing very well with their EV deliveries this year. They're down. They've been leapfrogged by BYD, and also you've got SAIC Motor. They're making more EVs than Volkswagen. I think Volkswagen's actually just slipping down the charts when we all thought they'd actually be rising up them and maybe competing with Tesla. In fact, instead of competing with Tesla, they're really just competing with Hyundai and Kia now. So it's going to be, a crazy difficult situation for them. I see very, very big trouble ahead for who? Toyota, all Japanese car companies, Volkswagen as well, because realistically, they're not ramping up production anywhere near as fast as what we thought they would. Who were the winners in April 2022 when it came to brands? Okay, BYD was first. This is a combination of plug-in hybrids and fully electric cars. I don't have the list of purely electric only, so I have to give you this list, including both. BYD came in first with 106,000 deliveries. Now, they've increased their tally significantly in the month of May, and I'll put a link in the description below to the video I made about those results. Tesla came in second place with just under 40,000 deliveries. Now, this is, of course, in April, which was a bad month for Tesla thanks to their factory being shut down. I've said that again. I'll say it again. SGMW delivered 30,294. BMW delivered 23,000. Kia delivered 20,000. Mercedes delivered 18,000. Volvo 16,000. Volkswagen 15,000. I mean, they've dropped all the way down from second to sixth. They've dropped. I mean, Volkswagen have dropped all the way down from second down to 9th place. That's alarming because guess what? Volkswagen doesn't have a factory in Shanghai that was shut down for April. So what exactly is going on at Volkswagen? Something strange is happening there. Then next up, we have Chery and Dongfeng, Audi, SAIC, Ford, GAC, Peugeot, Geely, Chang'an, XPeng, and then Leapmotor. Now, the important thing to keep in mind, during the month of April, even in spite of factory lockdowns in many cities in China, but in particular in Shanghai, still more than 50% of all EVs manufactured in that month came from China. What does that tell you about the future of electric cars? Well, I'm not going to say anything. I'll let you make up your mind, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, have a great day. Bye-bye.